outstanding receiver, he might have turned and started running before he actually had the ball.
Yeah, it looks like the ball was thrown outside just a little bit, and Kevin was leaning inside a bit.
And it looks like Kevin was cognizant of that sideline coming up, too. So it looked like he was stretching a little more than he actually had to. So Beck and the Forest Dragons facing a second down, 2nd and 10. And the ball just over the 15. They trail by 4, 15 of 11. We're in quarter number 3. Whistle will call this one dead. As Pratt was in motion, the penalty flag goes down. And I believe it's going to go against the offense this time.
Prior to the snap, ball started by number 57 of the offense.
Correct. It goes against number 57, Danwan McGee, the rookie out of UCLA, playing fullback. Now keep in mind, Portland, as we talked about it earlier in the broadcast, they picked up a couple of fullbacks, actually. Britt Bowen, 6'2", 245-pound rookie out of Eastern Kentucky. And they picked up George Del Rico out of Virginia Tech. Del Rico playing for Florida just a week ago. Bobby McGowan, and Johnson, and Pratt now all to the bottom of your screen. Another penalty flag down. Beck has to get rid of this one. This time it's complete to Kevin Pratt at the midfield stripe, but again, yellow laundry on the field.
Well, it kind of looked like they weren't sure what they were, the formation they were setting up in, and it could be on Portland for a illegal formation.
Yeah, it definitely looked like some confusion as they had twins at the bottom of your screen, and they wound up with trips before the play actually got started.
Illegal formation, the tight end was covered up by the wideout against the offense. 3-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
I think what happened there was just a mistake by the tight end. I think they lined up on the wrong side. Tight end should have been on the right side. That should have been the guy that raised his hand.
So Beck trying to get it going after losses to Nashville, 37-31, in a 79-51 setback to San Jose. Trailing by only 4 now with 12 minutes to go. They'll keep it on the ground. McGee, not too much running room. He tries to turn the corner. He gets back to the line of scrimmage at best, and he's hit by a host of white jerseys. Wilkie Bazile making the initial contact, and Latish Kinsler also might have been there.
Well, you really hope on a running play like that, when you use it on 2nd and long, that you're going to get more out of it and give your offense a shorter distance to go on 3rd down, but they don't. Now they're stuck with a 3rd and long, and they're going to have to go down the field, which they haven't been doing a whole lot of tonight.
.43 rushing yards. Of course, the Beck, of course, the long
29
touchdown.
of it was Beck on the long touchdown. That's right.
Only 6 from New Jersey. Beck going deep, looking for Bobby McGowan, and it's knocked down with another penalty flag down on the field. Covering on the play was Pierre Hickson, 5th-year pro out of Western Michigan.
Well, he hangs it up there just a little bit. Wow, that was a tough call. It looked like he just had good coverage on that one. But that's going to give him a 1st down, and now it pulls him out of 3rd and long, and everything's great. Here you see it at the...
Yeah, there's some body contact. Some officials might call it incidental contact, but there was body contact, no doubt about that. So another 1st down for the Forest Dragons. They get a little more breathing room up near the 20-yard line. Beck sidesteps a would-be tackler. This time he's going down. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by Chad Lindsey out of Cincinnati, who grew up and played his high school ball in the shadows of Ohio Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. Chad Lindsey still holds the all-time longest touchdown pass, 49, from Aaron Garcia in the first game, and a player down for Portland. And Stan Brock comes out of the field. But this time, Chad Lindsey getting it down on the defensive side as Beck coughs up the football.
Well, it looks like it might be Chuck Reed down on the field, and they can ill afford to have him hurt. He's the captain. He's the leader of this team. And with all the injuries they've got so far, that would make it really tough on him. Here you see Tom Beck drop back. Can't find a receiver, but he sets up, shows poise, sets up, tries to tuck it, tries to make something happen, but then the defensive lineman just gets his hand in there and knocks it out.
And Chad Lindsey, whose dad played for the Buckeyes, his uncle played for the Denver Broncos, Lindsey gives New Jersey the football at the 15-yard line. We're going to take a timeout with 10:48 to go in the third quarter. New Jersey threatening at the 15. They lead it by 4, 15-11.
Well, here what you got. Alvin Ashley's going to run a post or a corner again. He has the option to run a post or a corner depending on how the defensive back plays him.
Ashley in motion. Foggy looking down. Finds his man. That's Chad Lindsey. So Lindsey touches the football on back-to-back plays. One on the defensive side of the line of scrimmage, one on offense, and he's down inside the 10.
Well, Ricky Foggy does a smart thing there. The backside corner dropped off to help the safety cover Alvin Ashley, so he just does a smart thing and the easy thing and drop it off to the receiver out in the flat. There you see Miles try to drop back and help, which is his responsibility, but then Ricky makes the great read and drops it off into the flat.
Mentioned Lindsey's 49-yard touchdown, the longest for New Jersey, actually the longest in AFL history as well. Pina with the pitch. Pina, nice sidestep at the 10, gets down near the 7, and he's driven out by Bobby McGowans, and Dan Juan McGee making the defensive stop, driving him out of bounds.
Well, as we talked before, it gets a little tougher to score down in this red zone area. They're not actually in the red zone right now. The red zone's at the 5, but it's still tough because look at the end zones down there. You only have 8 yards. Plus, here in Portland, the end zones are cut off, so it just makes it so much harder for guys to find openings.
That was the 4th time Pina has carried the football this season. First time tonight. Foggy, quick drop, and it's complete. And he's at the goal line. There's the indication. It is a touchdown. So it's Chad Lindsey, the 6-year man out of UC. Starts it and he ends it. Starts it with the fumble recovery when Beck coughed up the football, and Lindsey with the 7-yard touchdown reception. And for Mr. Lindsey, that's his 4th touchdown in 1999.
Well, Chad does a good job of getting himself in between the ball and the defender, and then makes a great catch and a great effort to reach over the goal line.
Boy, nice hands that time, too, because...
well, the guy was all over him. Like I said, he shielded himself between the ball and the defender.
Vidoteks missed 2. Not that time. He splits the uprights. And with 8:34 to go, now it's New Jersey opening up a little bit of breathing room. It's 22-11, Red Dogs.
Ashley's touchdown in the second quarter. Momentum's really swung in their favor.
All Chad Lindsey that time. 7-yard reception. Lindsey, of course, on the fumble recovery. 3 plays, 15 yards, and just $137. And Frank Mattias looking to push his Red Dogs to 3-1. Mark Ricks back to receive once again for Portland. Viditek ready to kick off. Viditek, 6'2", 210 pounds. Alcorn at 6'4", 245. A couple of big kickers in this football game tonight.
They almost look like they could play linebacker for these teams, don't they?
They may have to. At least Alcorn may have to if that injury list grows for Portland. Viditek. Ricks playing it off the nets. And he doesn't do it too well. Look out, here they come. He goes down, and they will start at the 5. And look who was down first. Number 21, Chad Lindsey. Recovers the fumble, scores the touchdown, and he's the first man down on the kick coverage. I'd say Mr. Lindsey's having a good time right now.
He's having a great time. I tell you what, that's Iron Man football there, playing both sides of the ball, making things happen on both sides of the ball. Now Tom Beck needs to step up and lead these guys down to a quick touchdown.
And the drive will start at the 5. Kevin Pratt still looking to put up some numbers. It's complete to Bobby McGowans up across the 10, up close to the 14-yard line. Again, Pratt used as a decoy that time.
Well, they're doing a good job of taking Pratt out of the route. They're coming up and they're bumping him on the line of scrimmage, which is forcing him out of the route. Thus, he's not even in there. He's got to come off and throw to the secondary receiver.
Pratt coming in with 3 45-yard catches this year. He leads the team with 7 touchdowns. He had 8 catches for 112 yards and a touchdown last week in the loss to San Jose. Beck, two-step drop, looking for Pratt that time, but Pratt wasn't even close. He had to come back with the football, and it falls incomplete. So one thing about Beck and being a rookie, he's looked good at times, and at times he's probably hurried his throws a little bit.
A little bit, and there was an example of that right there. But overall, I think he's got a lot of confidence, and he's playing with a lot of smarts. And you know, one play can turn this whole thing around, and if he just stays focused, those things can happen for him.
I thought this, of course, your first broadcast with ESPN. I thought Stan Brock was going to recruit you last night after finding out you retired Friday. This one's complete, and Abdul Salam spits up the football. He had it, and he lost it.
Well, I don't think I've officially retired yet, Mike.
Oh, you
never
haven't?
say never.
Oh, okay. I thought, you know,
I know it.
Jordan, Elway, Hold, you know.
Oh, please. Please, I'm not even. Oh, thanks, buddy. That's so nice of you.
I was strumming through the record book the other night doing my homework. I saw your name pop up a couple of times.
Was it interceptions?
No, no. Actually, one was rushing attempts. And that's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Good play that time by Alex Rodriguez, the rookie out of Rowan.
He does a good job of playing what we like to call a spy technique, where he really doesn't come up the field in the rush. He just sits there and spies the quarterback and kind of floats to wherever he's going, where his eyes are looking, and tries to jump up and knock the ball down like he did.
That's Don Beck, the rookie quarterback, making his AFL debut. And right now his football team trails 22-11 with 6:13 to go in quarter number 3. Foggy, first down. Younger, little screen over the middle inside the 15.
Well, that's one of the first screens we've seen him run all night. We talked to Frank Hagee yesterday, and he said he prefers the short passing game to the run.
Yeah, that's right. You look at their rushing, 2 yards a game, only 6 yards and 9 rushes, but they say, hey, we use, you know, exactly, that's a great point. It says, you know, those statistics can be misleading because we take the pressure off the quarterback with those little screen passes.
Blue 88.
Foggy, plenty of time this time. Throws it down. It's almost picked off and then almost caught. Looking for Alvin Ashley. And once again, it's Delvin Miles out of Oklahoma State on the defensive play for Portland.
Well, Miles does a really good job on that one. Ricky Foggy had all kinds of time back there. See him cut across. He almost makes the interception.
For a second there, I thought Ashley was going to come up with the football. If he had, it would have been a fantastic catch.
But sure would have. But Miles, it looked just like he just came out of nowhere to knock that thing down.
So suddenly now, Foggy facing a 3rd down situation. A little pressure this time, fires it, and it's Demetrius Stanley. He had it, and he dropped it. Demetrius Stanley out of Ohio State talking to Frank Mathias. Said Demetrius Stanley could be one of the better players once he gets rolling. You look at Ashley, quiet night, 4 receptions, 55 yards. Average not so bad at 13-7, but Ashley.
You have to credit Portland's defense, Mike. They're just doing a great job of taking him out of the game.
He's averaging 150 yards a game. Viditek on for the kick. 30-yard field goal. And he splits the uprights right down the middle. So he's back in a groove after missing a couple of PATs. And he pushes the Red Dogs to a 25-11 lead over Portland. Dragons here in Portland. And Ricks once again, he had a hard time fielding the last kick. And Rick's back again. This time he's going to have to play it off the net. This time he does cleanly, and here he goes. He's at the 5. He's out to about the 8 before he's dropped. Making the initial contact, Jason Walters, the rookie out of Syracuse.
You know, Mike, the momentum's definitely on New Jersey's side right now. But there's still plenty of time left in this arena football game for Portland to go down and make something happen. They don't need to get in a panic situation just because they're down by 14 points late in the 3rd quarter. There's a lot of time for them to generate some offense and make things happen.
And in the second 30 minutes, it's 18 yards for Portland. Of course, the big turnover led to a New Jersey touchdown. The turnover, feeling the pressure, Beck coughed up the football, and Chad Lindsey recovered at the 15. And then Lindsey, of course, took it in on the receiving end of a Foggy touchdown pass. Kevin Pratt in motion towards the bottom of your screen. Beck, nowhere to go, and he's going down. New Jersey with another sack. That's the 5th sack so far in 99. Ashley, Bazile, Perry, and Stewart all had one before that one.
Well, what happened is they ran a crossing route, and they came up and bumped Kevin Pratt on the line of scrimmage, causing them to take too much time in their routes, thus pressure getting to Tom Beck.
So that one, have to give credit to Jermaine Younger, putting on the rush. 6 foot, 260-pound rookie out of Utah State. Former Dallas Cowboy, was the Big West Defensive Player of the Year a few years back. And Beck, once again unsure. He calls the timeout to go over and talk to Bob Cortese, the offensive coordinator. Now, Stan Brock, the head coach and general manager of Portland, a lot of coaches will have an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator, but he actually has Cortese as the offensive coordinator and Robert Lyles, the former Houston Oiler, as the defensive coordinator.
It is kind of rare in the Arena Football League to see the head coach delegate so much authority to his other coaches, but that just shows you the confidence that Stan Brock has in his staff, and that type of attitude generates through to his team. They love to play for Stan Brock. He's such a mild-mannered guy. He just has a lot of confidence. When we're talking about Tom Beck to him, never said a negative word, had all kinds of confidence in Tom Beck, and that's just the type of coach Stan Brock is.
You know, he played so long in the National Football League, he brings that calmness to us, because you talk about replacing the quarterback and the fullback, but his injury list is a mile long. Going into the game, he had 9 injured players. And guys, we're talking about Brian Green, Ryan Benjamin, of course. And Gadsden, of course, had the fantastic year for the Miami Dolphins, the most productive rookie season for any Dolphin. Of course, James Guidry went out last week when he was hit against San Jose. I'd like to mention that Guidry was at the game here tonight, which was nice to see. Beck flush from the pocket once again, goes down. Nobody at the 10-yard line. He simply threw that one away. So New Jersey getting to him now with that defensive push. I mentioned Guidry was here at the field. James Guidry regaining mobility. And he was temporarily paralyzed after that hit he took last week against San Jose. It was a clean hit, 43 seconds to go in the game. They actually stopped the game. And a scary thought, but it's nice to see James Guidry at the football game here tonight. And he was part of the pregame festivities. So we certainly wish him the best. Trips at the bottom of your screen. Beck ready to work. 3rd down. He goes down way over the head of Kevin Pratt. Keita Crispina covering on the play, but Pratt could have been all by himself, and he wouldn't have got his paws on that football.
Well, they're putting a lot of pressure on Tom Beck right now. But part of it is due to the routes that the receivers are running. They're just not getting open downfield, and it's causing him to hang on to the ball for just too long, giving the New Jersey line time to get in there and make contact with him.
Frank Mattiace, former Green Bay Packer, Detroit Lion, said they wanted to pressure this young quarterback, and they're probably doing it more so in the second half than they did in the first. Boy, you saw Younger come in, and just as Beck got rid of that football, he hit him down low, and Beck went down. That had to smart just a little bit. So Beck over on the sidelines talking to Cortese again. 3rd and 12 now. It's the longest 3rd down situation he's faced here tonight, with 1:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. This clock running, you get into that 4th quarter, time is of the essence. So they could certainly use a score. That one was batted down, and Crispina came up, almost picked it off. So once again, the heavy rush pushes Beck out of the pocket, and it falls incomplete. They're facing a 4th down.
Well, I think on that one, they're trying to get Beck out to get away from the pressure. I think they called a rollout on that so that he could get away from the pressure and not have to set up and take a hit. Unfortunately, the ball was knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Darren Alcorn. The 96, he was in the Giants camp. This one will be 55 yards. I want to talk about that in a second, how productive he was in the Giants camp. The kick is up, and it's just under. It was dead on, but shy. A little bit short. We're going to keep it here. You take a look at the kicker there, Darren Alcorn out of Akron. He went into the Giants camp in 96. They found out that he could punt as well, right? He was 12 of 13 in field goal attempts in the preseason for the Giants. He averaged 47 yards of punt, and yet he got cut. That's how difficult it is to make it in the NFL. You talked about James Guidry being here tonight. Of course, we want to pass along our prayers and best wishes from ESPN to Ed Manning as well. They see the number 24 and the button on the official's hat right there. Ed Manning, a longtime official, a Big Ten official, 13-year official in the AFL, was injured in that first game, the Orlando, Iowa game that we broadcast from Des Moines. He is in a Des Moines hospital. He's in fair condition, cognizant of the people around him. And Ed and his family, we certainly pass our prayers and best wishes to him back in Des Moines for a speedy recovery. So Ricky Foggy, the former Minnesota Golden Gopher, facing the final 15 seconds of the third quarter. They're going to head for the final 15 minutes after this play with a 2-touchdown lead at 25-11. New Jersey averaging 49 points a game. This one's knocked up into the net. And the fan comes down the football field. He says, hey, I want that football. He jumps back in. There's no way he's going to give that baby back. We've played 3 quarters of football here from the Rose Garden in Portland. And it's the Red Dogs from New Jersey heading for the final quarter, leading Portland 25-11. Talking with the people of the Forest Dragons last night, they said against Nashville, in their game against Nashville, the second week of the season, they lost 21 footballs. That's a lot of footballs.
A bunch.
Talked to Joe Morris, the owner of New Jersey. He said, we usually lose about 10, but we've never lost 21. That's a lot of brand new footballs to lose. Foggy opening up the fourth quarter, opening it up big, looking for Demetrius Stanley, and it slides through his fingertips. Boy, that had shades of Joe Germain to Stanley in the Rose Bowl against Arizona State when Stanley went 72 yards for the Buckeyes. And the storyline tonight, New Jersey. Foggy, 14 of 31, 132 yards, rushed for a touchdown, threw a couple of scoring strikes, and for Portland, no points in the third quarter, and that is huge. Talking with the Nashville coaches last week, they said, we feel if we can stop them once or twice a quarter, they have a chance to win. Well, Viditek kicking from his own end zone, and Mark Ricks will take it from his end zone, and he cuts it back to the near side. He's got some money here, and he's hit, and he's dropped it about the 16. That was a 61-yard field goal attempt, which basically turns into a punt in this league, right?
Exactly.
I mean, there is no punting per se in the AFL, but 61-yard field goal, that's no good. That was definitely a punt. 25-11, 14:02 to go in the ball game. We're back on the Deuce with more. Actually, Leon's had some playing time in the preseason. He was the MVP of the preseason game against San Jose. He came in and threw for 138 yards and 4 touchdowns in a 55-33 win. But this is his first regular season play now for the Forest Dragons. Movement before he can get the snap, however, as Dan Juan McGee anticipated the snap, but he jumped anyway.
Well, I don't think it's a reflection on Tom Beck. Tom Beck did a pretty good job on his first start, but the last couple series things weren't clicking, and I think Stan Brock just wants to see if Harry Leon can bring a little pizzazz or a little kick in the fanny to the offense right now.
Operative phrase there, kick in the fanny. They could use a spark as we're into the final quarter now. They're down 25-11. Stan Brock, head coach, still serves as the radio analyst for the New Orleans Saints, the radio broadcasts during the NFL season. Leon's little pump fake, going downfield deep, and his man actually fell down. Rico Cannon fell at about the 23-yard line, and Leon's had nobody to go to, so he just fired it deep.
Well, I think he saw him fall, and instead of trying to force it in there or make some big play, he just said, let me start all over and throw it downfield, start over again on second down. Don't take a sack, don't throw an interception or make a stupid mistake.
Leon's walked on at Eastern Washington, wound up being a 1AA All-American, the MVP of the Big Sky Conference. The walk-on throwing for over 4,300 collegiate yards. Now, the second pass, and this one's complete. No, it's incomplete.
Nope, he caught that ball out of bounds.
Hassani Abdul Salam out of bounds, the rookie out of UCLA. So it comes back, and Leon's will now face a third down, his first third down situation.
Close, but that first foot came down on the line there, Mike.
So Stan Brock has 12 minutes and 32 seconds for his new quarterback to get something rolling here for the Forest Dragons. The Dragons' fire seems to be simmering right now. Lots of pressure. He goes downfield. This one's complete. And good job on both ends as Rico Cannon goes up high and pulls it in.
Well, Leones does a great job there because he takes a hit as he gets rid of the ball. You're going to see him get hit right in the chest by the defensive end, or the linebacker actually. He does a good job of staying in there and delivering the ball downfield.
He stepped up and bought some time, and Rico Cannon gets it up to the midfield stripe.
Really,
he faces a fourth down, Mike.
And this is an important fourth down. They can't afford to be stopped again.
After being shut out in the third quarter. Pratt in motion. Leon, he's going deep. And a penalty flag against New Jersey, I believe. Rico Cannon, the intended receiver, and Latish Kinsler covering for New Jersey. But I think the penalty is going to go against number 41.
I think it is. How fortunate for them.
Number 41, 8-yard penalty automatic.
That's a tough call there. I mean, he doesn't see the ball underthrown, and he's just kind of runs through the receiver. I mean, you can't ask anything of Kinsler other than to do what he did right there. Just unfortunately, the ball's underthrown, as you see there, and he stops, and the guy they make contact.
I think he kind of grabbed it with his right arm as he stopped. A lot of yellow flags on the carpet here tonight. 10 for 57. 19 overall. And this one's complete. And we saw big number 99 pick up the safety. That time Chuck Reed, who already has one touchdown reception this year, rumbles down inside the 10-yard line.
Mike, that's a really smart call right now. They're getting so much pressure on Harry Leones and Tom Beck, and the way to take the pressure off him is drop it. There you see him step out of bounds, but drop it to a tight end on a screen. That keeps the linebackers and the linemen honest. It keeps them from pinning their ears back and coming hard every time.
So Leon's now facing a second down, 2nd and 8. 10.5 minutes to go before this game goes in the books. Leon's complete. Abdul Salam is slammed down. Forward progress will put him back at about the 13-yard line, but again, a penalty flag down. Lots of yellow laundry. 18 penalties a week ago.
21, the linebacker was out of the box. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, I wondered if we were going to see that tonight. That's the first time, Mike, the linebacker out of that imaginary box that he's not allowed to leave. It runs from end to end and 5 yards deep. He cannot leave that box until the ball is thrown. He jumped out there a little bit early. I mean, you can't blame him for being headsy like that, but, you know, hey, throw the laundry on him.
I would have a very difficult time playing linebacker in this league because you're revved up, ready to go, and you're locked up to that box. There's movement again. Looks like Stewart might have jumped this time on the defensive side. The penalty would go against New Jersey. I was about to say before the last official made the call, 18 penalties last week. They came in with 39.
Prior to the snap, false start by number 57 of the offense.
Oh, it goes against the offense.
13.
Dan Juan McGee with his second false start of this drive. So now time is of the essence.
Well, it really is. You know, arena football, so many things can happen, but you can't count on getting a ball off the net on a kick or anything. So it's really important for them to score right here.
Well, they've gone over 20 minutes without scoring. Portland has. Leon steps up, finds his man. It's complete. It's Kevin Pratt inside the 5-yard line. And maybe I spoke too quickly. So much can happen in the last 10 minutes of this football game. You know, Kevin Pratt, the leading receiver. It's interesting talking with Stan Brock as we take another look at this one.
They play a little zone coverage, and Pratt just finds the opening, settles down, and Leon steps up and hits him.
Kevin Pratt, after every practice, will pick out one of the two quarterbacks, and he'll catch 102 balls after every practice because he heard that Jerry Rice catches 100 after every practice. Leon looking for some running room. Does he get it? Yes, he does. He's in for the touchdown. So Beck gets a running score. Leon gets his first touchdown. And Portland, after going the entire third quarter and half of the fourth, without a score, they're back on the board. 3-yard touchdown by Harry Leon.
Well, here you look at him just run what we call a follow in arena football, where he tries to follow his fullback through the hole. But being the smart athlete that he is, he sees the opening and he cuts back.